Oh, hello, and welcome to Adente Rigamortis. I'm Review Cultist.
I'm Mikey, the E stands for evil.
And I'm the gamer in yellow.
And we're here to discuss those internet stories, most creepy and most pasta, and be critically silly doing it. And tonight we have Arizona. So, yeah, Arizona, it's a creepypasta on Creepypasta Wiki. It's by, or at least it was first posted in 2011 by Paninis Cupcake.
Nice.
I just gotta take this aside. I love like wiki user and forum user names
Because they're just random.
Yeah, and like like they usually started like most of them are from like when the person was like in high school or like middle school or something.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like the most random like stuff you've ever heard.
That being said, paninis and cupcakes are both delicious.
Yes, Panini's a cupcake panini though. That's just a dessert panini.
Or is it a panini cupcake?
Ooh, it would actually be like a savory cupcake. It'd be more like a muffin.
Nice.
But
Mind
anyway,
blown.
Yeah.
Muffins are just panini cupcakes.
Muffins are just panini. I want that on a shirt. Muffins are just panini cupcakes. The Gamer in Yellow 2025.
Such a weird quote.
Oh god, I just have like a picture of like a like a muffin with like some panini. I don't know what goes on paninis. I guess like cheese and bits and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And like grill and has some grill marks on the top, on the muffin
Absolutely.
top. This is like the donut. What was the thing that Mikey did years ago? Is like the something about a donut.
I'm assuming he was comparing them to bagels.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Or like the TV did nothing wrong. that slogan. But I digress. We're covering this story. It's called Arizona. I believe this is one from the listing of the definitive creepypasta iceberg list.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, like I said, it came out in 2011. It's been on the Creepypasta Wiki since then. It's been archived since then. So you can go check it out there. But let's give our initial rundown, or let's give our initial recommendation before we get too far ahead. I'm going to partially recommend this one.
I'm not going to recommend this one.
Is that a rating?
It can be.
No, it's not. Okay, I'll leave it at recommendation for now.
Okay.
We shall see.
Yeah, see.
A
see
low recommendation. We'll see.
Okay. Yeah, let's see how our opinions change over the course of this discourse.
Mm-hmm.
But let's start with the rundown, featuring not The Rock, but Nair, Ator.
Our favorite character.
Because we never get their name. I'm like, we never get names in these stories.
We got his girlfriend's name.
Yeah, we got the girlfriend's name. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
So Nair and his girlfriend Katie are going to Arizona to visit friends of Katie's for Katie's birthday. On the way there, they're crossing a long stretch of desert road through Arizona and realize
Title drop.
Yeah. and realize if they don't find a gas station soon, they'll run out of gas and be stranded. Fortunately, they do come across one, the only building for who knows how many miles, and in the middle of nowhere. And though it looks decrepit and run down, there is gas. While Katie is using the pump and gassing up, Nair goes inside to pay and get some food, but inside, it's totally abandoned and trashed. And that's when he hears someone crying. Venturing down to the flooded basement where the sound is coming from, Nair finds a strange dark shadow child in a corner who ends up being some really creepy creature with like a distorted distorted pale face and like black pits for eyes and a mouth. And it chases Nair up and out of the gas station. And fortunately, Nair and Katie are able to flee in their car. Nair finally tells Katie after a half hour about the thing, like properly, like exactly what he saw and such after he's calmed down. And she has to pull over and sob herself as she also saw something really creepy and strange in the window of the gas station. A little girl and her father who were giving off the creepiest fucking vibes you've ever known before vanishing. Nair and Katie stop at a roadside camping spot that night, but as they're getting settled in, are attacked by the creepy shadow girl from the gas station basement. They peel out and back on the road, which is now incredibly dark and strangely starless, with a strangely starless void night. They pass the gas station several times, like they are looping over and over again. Eventually, Katie needs to stop driving, and when they stop the car and to swap out driver positions, they notice a horrid pale humanoid running for their car. They get back onto the looping dark road with the crying thing from the basement in the back seat of the car now. Trying to avoid it, Nair also tries checking the radio, but it's also weird and freaky, so that gets turned off. Eventually, morning does rise, and they drive on to Katie's friend's house, though it is empty. They get inside. Katie, at this point, is near inconsolable and begins covering up the doors and windows. The windows with paper, with like newspaper, and like actually boarding up the doors. Days pass, and things get weirder and more desperate. Creatures bang on the windows, and mold begins forming in the house. Strange paranormal phenomena abound. Katie and Nair are even starting to look monstrous to one another. At this point, Nair wishes he had never gotten out of the car in the first place. Finn.
I thought it was never got into the car in the first place.
No, it's out of the car. I did double check that.
Oh, okay.
Let me just triple check that. That I had never gotten out of that car. Yep.
Okay, I misread then.
Yep. But yeah, that was the story of Arizona. So I suppose we should move on to.
We say it like that. It sounds like that was like how the state of Arizona was like created because of these events.
Yeah, I mean, everyone knows like Arizona is just a liminal space, like a liminal purgatorial hell.
Of course,
it's like Saskatchewan.
Honestly, yeah.
Or Alberta. Probably, I guess, yeah, Saskatchewan's the one that's just like endless flat land.
Yes.
Alberta at least has like mountains on the one side.
Yeah, trees in Saskatchewan are like national landmarks.
Yeah. Sorry, anybody who's listening who's from Saskatchewan, but come on, you know it's true.
Yeah, they're well aware.
Yeah. But yeah, with that out of the way, I suppose we should move on to everyone tolerates the Grand Inquisitions at this point. So I've got a couple here. I know in the last few episodes, we've said that we were going to like kind of be a little bit lighter on Grammar Inquisition, but this one kind of merited some Inquisition, some inquisitorial grammar work.
And to be fair,
I
saw that coming. Like basically, I was just suggesting getting rid of like this word is wrong. Okay, moving on. Like stuff that a spell check could do. Like we're still doing this because there's still merit in like figuring out how to fix these sentences that like are making us stumble over things. But yeah,
we're gonna try and clean up some of our grammar position, like be less nitpicky and just kind of like, yes, obviously like a story should probably be reread and like edited for like small things, but like these are going to be the more spotlighted issues with the grammar.
Yeah.
As I look down and see that I have some nitpicky ones, was like it should actually be this. Should be this.
How dare you?
I know,
it's fine.
But yeah, I'll start with this one here. We were really in love, period. That was the first time I realized that, period. I had never truly been in love before, period. Okay, So I feel like these 3 short sentences could be improved as one. So we were really in love, and it was the first time I had noticed that, comma, because I had never truly been in love before. Period.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It kind of flows better.
Yeah, and the story does use short sentences for like what I feel is like some emphasis, but there's also a kind of a moving trend through the story where like it feels like it's very jot formy in terms of what's going when things are going on. It kind of creates a sort of like paraphrasing speed to the story in some cases. So the next thing I have here, we were about halfway there, living on a prayer. Sorry.
Yep. That was in my head. I was going to say it, but I didn't want to interrupt you.
Yeah. We were about halfway there when we realized we were going to run out of gas long before the nearest petrol pump. So I feel like there should be a better segue into this next situation from like the previous, because like the previous part was like him talking about like how much he loved his girlfriend and all that, and how much they were in love and stuff like that. And then it cuts to this, and it's like, so I feel like it may like as they're like talking about their journey and stuff like that, the story should actually maybe this sentence part should actually start with, however things took a turn, or however things took a somewhat dire turn. Period. We were about half, and then go into like we were about halfway there when we realized we were running out of gas, kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And that's not the only time this happens. Actually, a little bit later we get this. It was then that we came across a gas station, period. Smack bang in the middle of nowhere, in dry, empty nowhere. So previously they were saying how there was nothing around, and like they were desperate for like to find something for gas, because like there was no cars coming by, there's no buildings for miles, and they were worried they were going to get stranded. And then it transitions immediately to this development where they find a gas station. And again, maybe because like the jot for me kind of quick pace of the story, but it felt like too quick of a transition. And I feel like a little bit of like segue here, maybe that could have been improved.
Yeah.
So perhaps something at the beginning to properly establish the new scene. So like this. Eventually, as we sped faster and more desperately down the desert road, we came across a gas station. Smack bang. And actually, I would have used smack dab in the middle of nowhere. Dot.
I think I've heard both, but yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So and then smack bang in the middle of nowhere, and then rather than have a comma before it goes in dry, comma empty nowhere, as in the original sentence, I kind of went with smack bang in the middle of nowhere, dot, dry, empty nowhere. Period.
Oh yeah, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, just to add a little bit more flair, and again, it elaborates that like they were still driving like forever before they found this gas station, not like immediately after they said like they were worrying that they were going to not find anything, and then we found it.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next thing I have here, I pushed harder and harder with effort, comma, got into the shop, period. So I feel like at the end of like where it says like I pushed harder and harder with effort, comma, then it should probably have and finally got into the shop, period.
Yeah.
Just because again, like it's that jot form sort of like it feels like the story is like missing transitionary like lines or words to help it like flow better.
I just didn't like the sound of it saying like pushed harder and harder with effort. It kind of sounds weird. The way that I rewrote it, the way I wrote it out. Yeah, the way I corrected it too is I pushed harder and harder, comma, with enough effort, comma, I got into the shop.
Yeah, that also work as well. And then my next one here, it was wailing now, staring into me with its huge black eyes, and as I scrambled up the stairs with great difficulty, as I felt my legs begin to give way beneath. So I feel like it should remove the last as and comma. It just doesn't feel like it's necessary. So it would read, it was wailing now, staring into me with its huge black eyes, and as I scrambled up the stairs with great difficulty, I felt my legs begin to give way beneath me. Or maybe even just, I felt my legs begin to give way, period.
Yeah, because they're going to be beneath you regardless.
Yeah, exactly. And then the next thing here, this is the one where it's like I get a little nitpicky on like spelling and stuff like that, but here we go.
We're already here.
The finest slither of red light had begun to settle on the horizon. It was still dark as hell, but at least I was able to see the road ahead of me now. Katie had been silent, face concealed under her hands for some times. So first off, I feel like it should be the finest sliver of red light, not slither.
Not slither like a snake.
Yeah, exactly. And then number two, I think an S at the end of that times should be removed, so it'd be like for some time, not sometimes.
Mm.
And then my last one is, how long have they been out? Had been out. Ending this off with my tense talk.
That's important.
Yes. But that's all I got for grammar acquisition. So, Mikey, the E stands for evil.
Well, I have a conjunction junction.
All right. Insert conjunction junction bit here.
Boop. It's a really old Ford make, and it's pretty beat up. It was then that we came across a gas station. It was an old worn down servo. But as we pulled up and saw the petrol stains in the dirt, we were convinced otherwise. It was coming from the back room. It was overgrown. It was directly in front of me. It was pitch black, and the smell was horrific. It was totally still. It was wailing now, staring into me with its huge black eyes, and as I scrabbled up the stairs with great difficulty, as I felt my legs begin to give way beneath me. It sprinted out of the water and up the stairs toward me. But the girl, oh God, the girl. And her smile just shone through the window. It was dusk by now. So we just drove up from the roadside where we were into the clearing a little way up where people camped sometimes. It's her. It's her. It was crawling into the car through my open window, with its limbs splayed out like an insect. It had too many limbs. It was then I noticed the runner, but she was gone as soon as she had appeared. It was overcast, and everywhere had the smell of rain on it. It's been 3 whole days now. It always goes to the face. Finn.
Wow. So this felt like they went to a gas station or like some kind of like abandoned gas station. He oopsed into the back rooms and encountered something and then escaped the back rooms, but then like the thing from the back rooms followed him out and sort of like started bleeding backrooms logic into the real world against him. Yeah. No, that's what I got out of that. Gamer.
I was muted today. Shit. I was saying words. It's fine. Yeah, and for those unaware, Mikey grabs all the sentences that start with words that they probably shouldn't, like its, ends, or buts, strings them together into a story to highlight that there's always better words to use.
Indeed. All right, so I suppose we move on to the grammar in yellow with Gamer.
That's me. Yeah, we did one of mine. I'll get on to my next one here. Inside there lay several wooden steps into the basement. It was pitch black, and the smell was horrific. So I found it odd that it was quote unquote pitch black. This is like sort of notey, but sort of not. I found it odd that it's quote unquote pitch black, and yet Nair doesn't even attempt to find a light switch. Like upstairs was dark, sure, but doable. But this was like literally impossible to see if it was pitch black, as stated in the story. And I don't necessarily need the lights to work. I just need common sense to work. I need him to attempt to find light, which brings me to the whole point of this. If it is literally pitch black as stated, he wouldn't have been able to see anything at all. Like no walls, no low-hanging pipes, no creature, including where to go to run away. So I personally think that this needs to say that it has some lighting, like some tiny, dirty basement windows that are like letting faint light in, or an odd flickering light bulb or something. Because if there's no light, we can't witness what you want us to witness, basically.
Yeah.
Or just don't say it was pitch black. You could just say it was dark, like it was up top, because dark is kind of vague with the amount of darkness, and if you're describing stuff in dark, then you can kind of get a visual of how dark it is. But saying pitch black is like, I cannot see my hand in front of my face. Pitch black. That's how I saw pitch black anyways. Yeah. But yeah, I'll move on to my next one here. Then a few minutes after we had been driving forward, still sweating and breathing heavily, we passed the gas station. My heart skipped a beat. The gas station was at least a half an hour away in the opposite direction. So for me, I feel like it should double down to confirm that this is the same gas station right away. Like, us as readers need to be in shock as much as the characters are. So personally, I'd say, like, simply adding "we passed the same gas station" adds a lot more impact. Because, like, for me, I thought they may have been meaning they passed a new and different one, even though there wasn't one supposed to be nearby, which would kind of allude to them, like, moving an impossible distance in a short amount of time or something like that. But then rereading, I'm like, oh no, it's saying the same one, and it doubles down on that after. But I wish I had the same impact right away that the characters would have.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah, especially when a lot of gas stations look the same anyway.
Yeah, for sure.
Designed the same way.
Absolutely. And then my next and final one. This is when they're switching seats. She shuffled across her seat to mine, and I opened the door to get out. As soon as I was outside, the foul stench of the basement overwhelmed me. So I think there needs to be a comma in that last sentence. So we'd be saying, as soon as I was outside, comma, the foul stench of the basement overwhelmed me. Otherwise, you'd read it like how I originally did, which is, as soon as I was outside, the foul stench of the basement. Like, that's, like, as in, it's referring to, he just exited the foul stench of the basement, instead of him just exiting the car and encountering the foul stench of the basement. Because that would make it seem like there was some weird transition to him. Like, he opened the car door, stepped out, and then he would turn around to see the top of the open basement inside the gas station.
Which
all because of a simply missing comma here.
yeah, but that would also be such a fucking mind fuck.
I know.
Like
that's what I was about to say next. Unfortunately, I wish that weird transition was actually a thing, because now he's back in the gas station and he isn't with Katie anymore. Did time just rewind? Did it dim door him back here to take a D&D reference? Or is like he in a different reality at that point? All those options would have been neat.
Yeah, exactly. Honestly, I reading this, like, I got the same kind of impression. It was like, where like the kind of momentary reaction was like, wait, did he just leave the car and now he's like back in the basement? But then no, it's just the smell from the basement. He's noting. So
it would have been cool too if there was that weird transition. If he doesn't reference it being a weird transition at all.
Yeah,
he just goes about his day like he just walked up the stairs, even though he didn't.
Oh God, yeah. It's the story's like purposely like gaslighting us.
Yeah,
yeah. I think I'd love that. It's like, because like there's already some tomfoolery going on. See
tomfoolery.
You right over there.
I love that actually. Take an edge.
I
can't do that.
I gotta tell that to Adam from RPX because he loves time shit. Like
Mhm.
that would definitely. That honestly sounds like it should be a scenario name or something like that. Like just time foolery, just like
Absolutely.
some like time looping like trickster or something like that. Like a fucking with the NPC with the players.
If it isn't now, it will be soon on our sister podcast, One Less Die.
Set in the time watch.
Yes, yes. I do need to play. I need to run Time Watch, like just period. no addendum. Like I need to run that game.
Yeah. Have you never done it?
I've run them. Like I've run some like one-off things and some like the start of a campaign that never went anywhere. But I've been working on an idea for it, so.
Okay, because you talk about it so much, I feel like you've done a whole campaign.
Yeah, well, like we did a couple like test things really like of it, but like they never got really recorded or like they aren't really worth posting.
Fair.
But I do have an idea for an al dente kind of themed one called Time Squatch.
Nice.
Where you are it's inspired by a creepypasta we did a while back, where it's like basically there's a society of Bigfoot in the future that are going back in time to try and like clear their name across human history so that humans don't fear them when they finally like, make their presence known to humanity in the future.
Nice.
But that's neither here nor there. It's when. Because time.
Yeah. No, that's a good one.
But yeah, anything else there, gamer?
No, that's all I got for grammar.
All right. Well, then we move on to actual thoughts. So I'm going to start with the image accompanying the story.
Mm-hmm.
It's adequately fine.
Cool.
It depicts an Arizona scene, or at least what I suspect is an Arizona scene with the cactuses and desert sunrise or sunset. Yeah, no, like that's about it. Like yeah, like I mean, I think is that even a road at the center of that, or no? That's just sunbeams. So like, if there had been like a highway road or something, like it'd been like an image of a highway desert road, that would have been, I think, better. But otherwise, like it's fine. It doesn't spoil the story, but like it ties to the title.
Yeah, that could just be the view at the side of the car as you're driving.
Exactly. Yeah. Or this could be like this could almost be like a scene from the story when like the slither of light, the slither of red light, crests the horizon. So
yeah, that's what it's meant to invoke, anyways. I feel.
Yeah, for sure. But that's all I had for the image itself. So I'll move on to the actual written work of the story. The road there was bumpy and long. Our relationship seemed at its strongest on the road. Not gonna lie, I don't know why, but I wanted that line to continue with, the road there was bumpy and long. Our relationship doubly so.
Yeah.
It's a sort of similar situation with they were halfway there, living on a prayer, like that kind of thing.
Yeah, for sure. Your head is just auto-completing things that it could be, and should be.
Yeah. Just for the poetry of it.
Yes.
But I'll move on to the next thing I have. Inside, there lay several wooden steps into the basement. It was pitch black, and the smell was horrific. The drip drop of water alerted me to the fact the basement was flooded. The water was up to my knees. So I read this part, like going into the basement, and it reminds me of a recent online urbex horror theme or trend that's been popping up. Are you guys familiar with the trend of or the meme of like still water, or like the danger of still water?
My only exposure to Stillwater is from playing Saints Row, which is the city that they operate in, where they take over and becomes the president and everything.
Knew you were gonna go there. So
did you?
Yes, I did. Like as soon as I started, I was like adding like this to my notes. I was like, "Gamer's gonna talk about fucking Saints Row."
Oh, I'm sorry. It's literally part of my name.
Yeah. I mean, by that reach, like, I mean, technically, Stillwater is the name of a town in one of the Lovecraft stories. So,
well, there you go. Then you're doing your namesake too, Mikey. Your turn.
Just sitting there being evil.
Cool.
All right. So the trend of the ironic meme of Stillwater, or the danger of Stillwater, was popularized back in 2024 on TikTok. And it's basically like an urbex sort of thing. Like a lot of urbex videos would be like talking about like where they're going around in like a either abandoned warehouses, malls, what have you, that have like some flooding, and they'll talk about like you've got like I never worried about still water until I went to this place, and then like it'd show like that water like calm and still, and then somebody would throw the like a rock into it, and like a creepy music would play because I think the situation like I think the um danger or like the meme of it is that like you don't want to go into that still water because of like bacteria is growing in there and stuff like that. So like you never want to like actually go into it, and like so that's like a new fear unlocked for urbexers, or it's like that's the meme
Oh,
of
okay.
like still or stagnant water when you're like urbexing.
So it's nothing like inherently creepy. It's just good advice.
It's good advice, but like it's always like framed with a creepy like theme, like with a creepy like music score to it. Like you'll see somebody's like feet like walking down some steps that are like go into like a flooded room, and like it talks. It's like says still water, like just like in text, like white text, and then like they'll throw like a rock, and like as soon as the water starts rippling, and like you start seeing like the kind of the disturbance in the water underneath it and stuff like that, it'll like cut to like a creepy music score.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just it's one of those like weird like creepy talk trends that have popped up.
Mm-hmm. I think
I
the
think
creepiness is basically how it's like a silent killer sort of deal,
yeah,
where like
exactly.
you wouldn't really think it would be hazardous.
Yeah, exactly. Because like you don't want to walk like if you walk into it, or if you God forbid you drink from it, like there's a chance you're gonna like get some kind of bacteria that like might kill you or make you
Yes.
terribly sick. So. And yeah, like basically one like couple of urbexers did on like posted videos about it on TikTok, like I think as like an awareness thing, and then it just became a parodied creepy TikTok trend of just people like talking about it. But yeah, so again, I'm becoming terminally online on TikTok. Like I watch TikTok too much nowadays, mostly for the creepy shit. And it just him like going down and like seeing the flooded basement and like the water was down up to his knees immediately reminded me of the still water or stagnant water meme. So,
Absolutely.
But that's not the only thing I have about this water and this basement, which ties into my next quote and comment. So the quote is here. "Hello," I called out. "Is anyone there?" I started approaching the corner. The smell was horrible, and cold water eventually got to me. Wait, you actually went into the water? Why? I thought when the depth of the water was mentioned earlier, it was like a guess from the top of the stairs? That's insane! Do you know how gross that'd be?
Like, you see, he's the main character of the story. He has to do dumb things, or we don't have a story.
I just like for what reason? Because you heard crying? Nope. Nope. I'd call out first before going further at all. Like, see if you get a reply, because that's a trap.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was like, because when I first saw the part, heard the part of like the water was was up to my knees. I was like, okay, he clearly like saw that, like that's how deep it was, like from the safety of the dry like top of the stairs.
So
But
he's
no,
clearly not going to go in there.
yeah, he's not going to go in there. That's insane. Like, why would you do that? Again, clearly he's not checked out TikTok and seen all those memes about Stillwater.
Mm-hmm.
From like 2011 when the story was posted.
Yeah.
The story clearly didn't have the hindsight of TikTok creepypasta memes. Anyway, but moving on further on to like another theme of the story, which is later as he's like running away from the creature and like gets back and gets to the car and stuff like that, and they veer out. She pulled the car to the side of the road and began to cry herself. I asked her what was wrong. She said, "I saw something while you were gone. When you were in the store, I was just putting the pump back when I saw this little girl and a man, her father, I guess. The father stared at me with blank eyes and hanging jaw. But the girl, oh God, the girl. She was staring straight at me, grinning with this huge smile that just stretched so far across her face." So this is what Katie saw while Nair was having his misadventures in Stillwater. So why did she laugh at Nair when he came running out of the store? Shouldn't she have also been in a similar state of panic as Nair?
Nope,
Is it
because she straight up said that she wrote it off as a hallucination.
I guess, but I'd still be concerned, especially after like you have that like hallucination, and then your boyfriend comes running out. Even like if she's like just laughing that he's like soaked, so he like, what, you piss your pants or something like that. It just seemed like, I don't know. I was starting to get like the feelings like these characters are from Derpland, aren't they?
I mean, you're not wrong.
Just with their actions and reactions to like the situations. But it also goes further with my next one. So this is when they've escaped and they're stopped for the night in that clearing on the side, and they start macking, and then Katie starts like screaming, it's her, she screeched, fumbling to start up the engine. I turned in time to witness a small black face, grinning literally ear to ear with only darkness inside. It was crawling into the car through my open window, with its limbs splayed out like an insect. It had too many limbs, way too many long arms. The fingers feeling my face like antenna. We sped off, back down onto the road. Sped off, with the creepy shadow spider girl in the car, or at least part way. Like, that's what it sounds like. There's no, like... Did she like get pulled out when like they peeled out? Like there's like, so she's just in the car with them. Like this chase is not going very well.
It's one of the biggest problems I have with this story, honestly.
Yeah.
Because yeah, she straight up. It says like they tried to crawl into the car and was like touching his face, right?
Yeah.
And then like
literally the next sentence is
off.
Yeah, the next sentence right after, like, as the fingers feeling my face like antenna, we sped off back down onto the road. It's like, there should be, like, some extra lines here where, like, she, like, went flying through that car window, like, as you peeled out or something, like, so that, like, she's not actually still with you as you're, like, because, like, your escape isn't really an escape if she's still in the car.
Yeah, it should be, like, did Nair, like...
with you. Sorry.
Yeah, it should be like, did Nair like push her off or like open the door to like shove her away as they drive away, or like shut the window to pinch it in the window? Did he punch it? Like, or did Katie speeding the car away simply rip its grip away from Nair? Like, it being said is important. This is like the first direct attack that they're both witnessing.
Yeah, exactly. And then the next thing I have here is back on the road, nothing seemed right. There were no stars. That was what I noticed first. I was too shaken to think much of it, but there were no clouds that could be blotting them out. There was just the vast night sky, devoid of all light. And this kind of bugged me because, like, how do you know there's not clouds like completely blanketing the night sky and creating the darkness? Because like you're in the darkness of a dark desert road. I'm assuming there's no like lights, like street lights, because it's a desert road to cause like light pollution. You wouldn't really know if there's cloud cover above because it's nighttime. And like when I've been driving alone at night, I've not like I can't see anything past like my headlights. So for all I know, above me is just this yawning darkness.
Mm-hmm.
So it just seemed like kind of a weird like detail to say like, no, there's no way there's like any clouds here to blotting out the stars. They're just gone. Like, I don't know how you'd notice that.
It could be easily noticeable if they could see the moon clearly.
I suppose if the moon is there, but yeah, it made it seem like there was nothing up in the sky, just a dark void.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But then the next thing I have here, this started as a really cool, creepy thing, but there's an issue with the story that kind of gets in the way for me. So the quote is, as soon as I was outside, the foul stench of the basement overwhelmed me. I gagged, then vomited down the side of the car. It was then I noticed the runner, a pale white thing sprinting towards us through the fog, its limbs practically a blur. I could make out no face. How long had it been following us, running after us running after us in the night. So that thing coming after them, like him noticing that this thing's been like off in the distance coming at them, cool, creepy scene. Like that would be, yeah, nope, get back in the car. But for me, the story, again, it suffers from like not establishing set dressing. Like again, why that child was like, did that child like get kicked out of the car like when they drove away? For this is the first time we're hearing that there's fog. And that might also explain why there's no stars in the skies, because the fog is kind of just over all around them.
Yeah.
Just saying. Yeah, so like otherwise it was a really cool creepy sequence where like, oh, it's like, oh shit, like you got this creepy pale humanoid running at you. Like I can visualize that in a creepy manner, like and as Nair's like dealing with it. But it's just sort of, again, like comes out of the fog. What fog? This is the first time hearing about fog.
Yeah.
And then the next thing I have here is actually tied to like tied to all of this really. As we forced ourselves on, we both became aware of a soft, barely audible weeping in the back seat. Neither of us dared turn around. I wonder if it's that shadow child that crawled through your window earlier and didn't leave.
Yeah, they just wanted to ignore it.
Yeah, let's just go. Well, like that, it can't be really creepy. Like, again, like the story, like the way they're treating it. I've seen short horror films where it's like a family having dinner, and there's like a creepy thing coming toward them, and like everybody just like no, just assume like nothing's wrong, ignore it, completely ignore it. Like it's the only way to like, if you don't register that it's there, it won't hurt you, kind of situation.
Yes.
And that's like cool, and like that could be creepy. Again, this story just kind of gets in its own way when it doesn't add extra details like to establish set scenes and stuff like that. Like because it would be nerve wracking if this thing was like oh shit, it's still in the car. But it would have been better, I think, if we'd established like the shadow girl or whatever had like when it was crawling into the window and they peeled out, it got shunted out of the car. But really, it's still with them. Like they thought they got away, but it's there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the way it should have been, but
it's the way. Yeah.
That's not how it is.
Yeah. The next thing I have here. Finally, I ordered myself to end it, and looked behind me. For a split second, I thought it was a little girl in a white dress looking back up at me. But she was gone as soon as she had appeared. I checked the seat carefully. There was nothing. In my tiredness and fear, I had completely lost track of the road. And that's when the car flew off the road and crashed, thus restarting the cycle of their death by car crash over and over again in this desert purgatory. Is sort of what I thought was going to happen.
But no.
And would fit the situation they find themselves in with this like looping stretch of desert road and ghostly apparitions that like, oh, they've actually been dead this whole time from when they died in a car crash, and they've just been repeating the same like day and evening over and over again.
Yeah, it'd be rough.
Yeah. And honestly, I'm not entirely convinced that's not like what's happening here is like they're in some kind of like purgatorial hell. And they're already dead. But
yeah.
I'll actually that comes up into my next bit as well as another theory I have. A leak sprang up. So this is when they finally make it to Katie's friend's house, and then like the liminal bullshit starts happening there, like, or the paranormal activity starts happening there and such. Or is it paranormal? A leak sprang up about a day ago in my room downstairs. Black spots of mold have been appearing on the walls. There's a smell throughout the house, seeping into my room, the odor of decay. So my running theory was either that like they were already dead, and this is like some kind of hell or purgatorial state that they find themselves in, just looping over and over again. Or they're just suffering from horrid hallucinations as a result of staying in a mold-infested dwelling. Like, it would kind of be cool if during their stay in their friend's house, I do in quotes, it started looking more and more like the gas station. And so, like, everything up to the entire story is actually, I'm going to mundanify it. They're actually just suffering from mold hallucinations.
Yeah, I mean, if they weren't seeing all the creepy shit ahead of time first as well
Unless it's just
at
like
the
that,
gas
like
station.
unless the mold is like gaslighting them and like making their memory kind of like think that they've been doing this over and over again, but really it's just like they're
Mm,
just suffering from like from again mold and mold contamination.
yep.
Because that can sometimes affect people, like mold and like when you're like living in a house with like black mold and stuff, that can fuck up with your perception of reality.
That's pretty funny. The gas station is gaslighting them.
Yes. Yeah. But yeah, I do also think like it would be really cool if like they get to their friend's house, they think they're safe, and after a couple of days, the house starts like taking on features of the gas station. Even it's like they never left. They thought they escaped.
That'd be pretty
They
cool.
never did. Yeah.
Yeah. And then they get chased out the front door, and like their car's there, and they have to get in it, and then
Yeah.
the thing jumps in the window, and they do nothing and drive away, and yeah,
And just restart.
just-
Yeah.
yeah,
They just drive into the night on this desert road where their friend's house is. That strangely has one of those like overhang like gas station like canopies.
mm. No, if it's a pure reset, they would see it as the normal house.
Oh yeah,
Then
yeah.
they would go in, and then it would change.
Yeah, exactly. And then the last thing I have is actually the last sentence of the story, or last bit of the story. I pray hopelessly, and I swear to God, I wish that I had never gotten out of that car. And then I add to it, ... in Arizona. Just to tie up the ending a little bit more nicely. just a credits kind of line.
I guess, yeah.
I don't know. I'm a sucker for that kind of like that
Title
sort
drop
of,
at the end.
Yeah, title dropping. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all I've got for Arizona. So Mikey, the E stands for evil.
Okay. Let's see. Well, my first note here is sort of a continuation of the characters are from Derpland. Because, like, at the very beginning, he starts worrying about not having enough gas to get to the next gas station. But in Arizona, aren't there signs saying next gas station in X miles when you're at a gas station? So you would know whether you had enough gas to make it to the next gas station.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I do find that like that's not so much a derp thing or like a derpland thing as just like that's a real thing that people unfortunately like mistakenly like misjudge how much gas they have and such.
Mm-hmm.
Like not everybody's like super cautious when it comes to like road trips. Like they're more like carefree when it comes to road trip. So
especially since they're driving quote unquote an old Ford. So I'm assuming it's like an old, like as it's old enough that it doesn't have a GPS with like your fuel efficiency reading on it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he would know it's a gas guzzler, so you'd fill up before going into the desert.
Yeah. Or they could have just misjudged. I don't mean to like disagree with you, but I also because I don't disagree with you. I do think that they are very derpish. But like this particular bit, I don't think is too bad. Like there are definitely worst offenders of their Derplander heritage.
Heritage, yes.
Their Derplander like citizenship.
Mm-hmm. They're derp cards.
Yeah, they're Derpland cards.
All right. And then I know Cultist mentioned this, but when we first see the monster in the gas station basement with the water and the crying of the monster, all I could think about was the witch from Left 4 Dead.
I personally, if I was in that situation, I'd be like, nope.
Yeah, and it's not like you had to get past the monster to leave.
No, you just had to get around it. Yeah,
yeah.
You could bypass the witch when she was crying. Like it was literally supposed to be like a lure. There was only a couple of times in Left 4 Dead when they'd fuck you by like having her really close to like the spot you had to get past.
Yeah,
but yeah, Yeah, I definitely the witch came to mind for sure.
Yeah.
And then also of I found that the gas station in the middle of the Arizona desert with a flooded basement was an odd choice.
I mean,
Because there's not exactly a lot of rain out there.
Yeah.
you say that, but like, deserts generally hold their water underground. Like, so I could see that being why it was flooded. It was just like the water had come up from above or from below. I mean, um,
It would have to like get through
Yeah.
the foundation of the house, though. So unless there's some break in the wall,
I mean,
I don't know.
it's how derelict it is, like, and decrepit it is.
Well, and I like I'm saying, I've just found it an odd choice.
Yeah.
Like there could be a leaky pipe that explains it.
Well, and I thought it did explain that with a leaky pipe. Like, does it not say that? Like, there's like the drip of water from a pipe.
It was mentioning pipes that he had to duck under.
The drip drop of water alerted me to the fact the basement was flooded. And then it mentions the pipes above, like above his head and stuff like that. So yeah, like it does kind of insinuate. It just doesn't straight up say like, oh, clearly like there's a pipe leaking.
Well, but the thing is, it would take ages for a drip to fill a basement. So,
Maybe it's been doing this for decades.
Yeah, or it has been in like a time. I was gonna say it has been in a time loop, but that would just like loop it, like refresh it or restart it, so it wouldn't get done. But it isn't. Again, it's in some kind of like time bubble, or like again, this is just like a purgatory situation. So.
Yeah,
it is. I will give you it is peculiar to have a dry, like basically something that's in the dust bowl, as they call it, like in a dry arid area, to have like something like a damp and cold basement. But yeah,
It's unbecoming of the area for sure.
And that's the end of my actual thoughts.
Okay. Gamer, what do you got?
Well, let's see. What do I have left? Okay, my first note. This is when he's first getting to the gas station. It says, when I first went to open the door, it jammed. This perturbed me, so I looked up at the sign to check and was reassured that the store was quote-unquote open, according to the torn sign that hung in between the dull yellow curtains at the door window. So I feel like the whole problem was the door was a pull door, not a push door.
Yeah,
Because he is from Derpland, clearly.
Yeah, he just forced it open, like broke the door, the pushing it.
Absolutely. Derplanders have immense strength. Because
Yes.
all that brain power just goes into their muscles.
They got more bronze than brains in Derpland.
Yes, indeed. And then my next one. This is like down in the basement or near it, or when he's about to go down there. Then there came from behind me this quiet weeping, like a child's. I felt my heart race. It was coming from the back room. Oh, geez, nothing ever good comes from the back rooms. Is the first thing I thought.
Honestly, I was like, I know this. It's like, again, I knew the story was from 2011, so it's a little early, but like, damn, back rooms,
Yes.
get you every time.
Mm-hmm. The actual creepiness did start in the back rooms in this. Like,
yeah. This is a proto backroom story, confirmed.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
Especially with the repetition outside and everything. Yeah, why not?
Yeah, the looping the liminality of the road is really just like the whole, like, honestly, this does kind of have like a liminal space sort of vibe to it. So
Yeah. Absolutely. Then my next one, this is inside the gas station still. I stepped over the smashed glass and twisted metal remnants on the floor over where the patches of grass had grown through. I read that, I'm like, damn, the gas station had a whole aisle dedicated to copies of Twisted Metal? Gotta respect that.
You joke about that. I was literally like, as you said that, I just was like, oh man, Twisted Metal Remnant, my favorite Twisted Metal game.
Yeah, it's a combination of Remnant like from the Ashes and Twisted Metal. Yeah.
Well, I mean, honestly, Twisted Metal Remnant, like having Remnant in their like subtitle for Twisted Metal, wouldn't be too out of line. Like there's like Twisted Metal Black, and like
Yeah.
so like I could see there another like another title in the franchise being called Twisted Metal Remnant, and like
Mhm.
kind of like like even more post-apocalyptic like racing game.
Yeah, maybe like all the characters that like actually died throughout the entire series, you play as them now, like the remnants of them.
Yeah,
Or
although
something
that
like that.
it could have been called Twisted Metal Revenant.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah.
Or you play as whoever's left, like the remnants of all the racers.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool. Man, I miss Twisted Metal.
Yeah, I mean the TV series seems to be doing pretty well.
Oh yeah, didn't season 2 drop recently? Or is it about to?
Oh, it dropped already.
Nice. Because season 1 was not Twisted Metal at all.
No, it was
The
like
last episode was
yeah.
Twisted Metal.
I think it was like season 1 was setting up Twisted Metal, like the series, like the setting and stuff of that. Because they add on like they get close, it got closer and closer, and then from the trailer I saw for season 2, it's very Twisted Metal.
Absolutely.
Season
1 ends with we should move. Yeah, stop gushing about Twisted Metal.
Yeah, let's do that for a Patreon episode if we need.
Oh, okay, yeah. Hey, the story triggered me. What do you want me to do? This next one we kind of talked about how like he looked down the stairs into the basement. It's pitch black with a horrible smell, and I'm like, you guys would just leave at this point, right?
Yeah, like I know. Fuck, heck, as soon as I heard the crying, I'd be like, I'm out. Like,
yeah,
I wouldn't even make it to the door. I wouldn't even make it to the back room. I'd be like going out the front door I just got it from.
Yeah, because like I get that he like literally just went in there to pay for gas. Yeah. So like he does not need to go into the creepy basement. Like he would either like leave the money for the gas that they're buying and at the register and just leave, or just leave. Like this shit's messed up.
If I'd heard the crying, I might like have like called out, like, "Are you okay? Anybody out there?" Like, but then like, and if I heard any movement, I'd start moving back toward the door. Don't lose sight with the front door.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Which kind of segues nice into my next note, which is basically overall regarding the basement investigation and chase that happens. Going through it, I found it kind of boring and predictable, honestly, to read. Like, I hate being that guy, but that's kind of how it seemed, because, like, it's hitting, like, all of the, like, tropes of, like, there's spooky sounds in a basement. Nair goes to investigate with no reason to do so. The basement's like pitch black with no lights, but he can see fine. The water's up. It's got water up to his knees to make it more difficult to walk through. There's a creepy feature in the distance with his back to us. It turns around with a creepy face to like jump scare him, and then like he gets away and shuts the door just before it can get to him. It's all very by the books, you know?
Yeah. It's very much like this is a haunted house, but it just happens to be a gas station.
Yeah.
Like it's your traditional haunted house, but it's a gas station. And honestly, like that's not the coolest, creepiest part of the story. That part is the fact that they get trapped in this like loop, and when the things start attacking them and like start chasing them, like the chase after their encounter with the gas station is what's more interesting than this part.
Yes, but like the initial hook to the creepiness didn't really catch me, is what I'm getting at. Like, because it was too by the books, like I said. Like, granted, if I was Nair, forced to do these things and witness those things, yeah, it'd be horrible as hell, sure. But from an outside perspective, it's like all just cliche, you know?
Like, personally, now that I'm thinking about it, like, we could have had, like, Nair goes into, like, breaks into, like, gets into this place because, like, the door's stuck, finds the place completely empty, sees that there's nobody around, like there's like dust on the counter, like this place hasn't been used in years. But then gets he hears Katie like calling for him like in a panic. So he like maybe like puts some money down and then runs back, or maybe he just doesn't, like he just runs back out to see what Katie's up about. And then she like points to the window, and he goes and looks to see the creepy like old man and the creepy girl in the window, who then just kind of vanish. And like he knows they weren't in that building while he was in there, and so
Yeah.
that's when they book and get the hell out of here. And then that's when the story like kicks into high gear. Like like basically it would do away with the whole basement scene, but the basement scene really is, again, like you said, it's a by the numbers, not really. It is the catalyst for shit happening, but like Katie also experienced something, so just like combine their two encounters into one encounter.
Yeah, because they essentially were already. And like all the things that happen in the basement don't add to the story, because even the description of the stuff in the basement gets like repeated later on anyways.
Yeah.
So like that whole basement attack is kind of unnecessary.
Yeah, we could just easily have like, heck, it would have been more interesting if like they weren't, we didn't get a heads up about the creepy like spider child when it attacks them in the clearing in that at that little parking lot clearing they have.
Because yeah, the way it is, that whole basement thing, it's like the only thing it would have needed to have like all of the tropes is like Nair trips on the way like out of the building, and then like they get in the car and then the car won't start because there's a creature chasing them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll move on from that though.
Okay.
So the visual, actually no, this part I'll bring it up anyways. The visual of the pure black creature thing changed a couple times for me, because the first time it was described from outside the gas station, it looked like, the way I saw it is basically a bald drow child, like Drow from Dungeons and Dragons, with just a really big grin on his face, like teeth and eyes and everything. And then the second time, from the window of the car, as they're trying to leave, it's the same, but like with no teeth or tongue or anything inside its mouth.
Spidery and all that.
I can partly explain why this second time the mouth. I could partly explain the void mouth away, because like maybe the second time the mouth was open while it was smiling, while previously it had its lips together when it was smiling.
Yeah.
But it wasn't said either way. So because it didn't specify that its mouth was closed, I imagined teeth, and now there's no teeth, so I had to rewrite that in my head.
Fair. Also, sorry, you just bringing this up about like like her being like a little like drow girl or something like that, and then like we encounter her later with like the way she like crawls into the car and stuff like that. So this could straight up be like a Urban Arcana scenario. Urban Arcana being the sort of Dungeons and Dragons attempt at like creating a sort of like modern blend to like D&D, like having like Dungeons and Dragons elements in a modern day world. It's basically like their version of Shadowrun, or their kind of like competition with Shadowrun, or their like kind of like answer to things like Shadowrun. Where it has like things like, again, like you can be an elf, a troll, a dwarf, all that kind of, or maybe not troll, but you can be like an elf, a dwarf, a bugbear, all those kind of characters, and they're like, they have regular jobs, basically like the movie Bright.
Yeah.
And there is like I think one of the main like characters like on the cover of that book, as I pull it off my shelf. Oh yeah, the characters on the cover for Urban Arcana are drow in like modern attire and like using guns and magic and swords.
There's magic in it too.
Oh yeah. It's like what it's again. It's just D&D, but in set in a modern Earth.
Yeah.
I'm not exactly sure how things like get to how things got to that point, but the idea I have here is like, this is sort of like Urban Arcana, but with the hills have eyes. And have it that like, yeah, it's like a little like a creepy drow family out in the desert using magic, and they're worshippers of Lolth, their spider goddess. And
hence the spider legs.
Hence why when you encounter the little creepy drow girl again, she's more spider-like.
Yep.
So I just think that would be like a really cool, creepy, like Urban Arcana adventure to have. Like you're traveling through the desert, a desert highway. You encounter this like old gas station that you need gas from, but then it's occupied by this creepy like drow cult, a family cult. So
that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, I might legitimately look into like maybe like fleshing that out into a game for One Less Die.
Nice.
Because I always have even before Shadowrun, I had a fondness for the Urban Arcana setting and like the modern the D20 modern games. So
Mm-hmm.
it would be interesting to go back to that at some point.
Yeah, I was looking up the title art that you were describing with the drow with guns and magic and stuff, and it
So
came
good.
across It is. I came across another one called D20 Future that has
Yeah.
like a Catman in like full tactical shit.
I has that as well, and there's also
Nice.
a D20. There's also D20 Apocalypse, D20 Past. The D20 Past one has like basically like swashbuckling and like cowboys and stuff like that on it. Yeah,
That's
no, yeah. D20
What,
Modern was like a really interesting setting and like campaign frame. So
what version of D20 or of?
I believe it's 3.0 or 3.5.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Was that a bad one? I don't remember.
No, it was the one of the better ones. Like it was the one that they used a lot during like the early 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Because we're playing on what edition now?
yeah, we used
Or
fifth
fifth?
edition.
Yeah.
We skipped fourth edition because it was kind of shitty.
Right. 4 was
For
a bad
us.
one. Yeah. Absolutely.
But anyway,
Yeah. Oh yeah, Arizona. There we go.
the story of Arizona. Yeah,
How
Hell
the hell
raising
did we get-
Arizona.
Oh yeah, Lolth. That's how we got there. Okay.
yeah, that's how we got the Spider Girl and Lulth. And you
Yep.
mentioned Drow, which triggered my D&D brain.
These things happen.
Yeah.
So yeah, my next note is basically you kind of brought it up before. The looping car chase scene that happens was well done in comparison to the basement, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like it also had typical horror things show up, like the thing just showing up in the back seat and all that. But it's all stuff that was happening. But like all the stuff that was happening was visually interesting and fun for the reader, while hell on the protagonist. While the first stuff in the basement wasn't really fun. You know, it's weird that I'm bringing up fun as a selling point for this, but you know what I mean, right?
It was like it was a little too by the numbers.
Yeah, for sure.
As us as jaded creepypasta readers,
We've read so many. You
have-
especially so.
yeah, and like I do because I'm doubly like jaded or like not jaded, but like I'm doubly exposed to like horror tropes because on top of being like a fanatic for creepypasta, I'm also a huge horror nerd. So
Yes.
yeah, like I know like basically I have like a fairly widespread like appreciation for all the like the horror tropes that are being presented here. Like again, the story oozes with like Hills Have Eyes or like that sort of genre of like getting stuck in the desert and dealing with some kind of weird bullshit.
But you do agree with me that the car chase scene stuff was a lot more interesting and like concerning than the basement.
Absolutely, yeah. Like it was
Okay.
it was yeah, like that again, like that was kind of more the selling point than the basement. But the basement part's just the catalyst to get the things going. So
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll get to my next note here. So they get away and the car's like looping, showing the people at the gas station get closer and closer. The child screaming in the back seat, strange like creature chasing them in the distance, like from
typical
behind.
road trip, really. Like parents with the
Honestly,
road with the kid.
yeah. But then like all of a sudden they just get to Katie's friend's house.
Yeah,
Like
no,
I assume it's
Dawn-
because they survived the night, Five Nights at Freddy's style.
Yep.
So like the loop stopped, but there was no clear mention of it stopping. I feel like that is an incredibly important thing in this, like because we're in the middle of this chase scene, and then it just it doesn't end. It stops suddenly at the friend's house.
So here's the thing. It didn't just stop. We hit a lull. There was a calm in the storm. This is a very
Yes.
this is a very traditional. Again, this is a very talking about horror tropes. This is the like the fake out. Oh, they got away in every horror movie. Like
Yes, but
yeah,
the thing is, go ahead.
like they survived the night on the road and so and then like but dawn finally rose. Oh, everything's going to be okay. We drove into the day like through the day to get to Katie's house. To Katie's friend's house. They finally make it there, but weird. The friends aren't there. Well, let's just go inside. And then they get inside, and then the horror kicks back in, and they never left the horror.
I understand that, but as a reader, we don't get to experience the lulls like they did, and I don't mean LOLs. I mean LU because it goes. Oh God, we're running for our life. There's the sun's coming up. We're at Katie's friend's house. There's no break period. It just goes immediately.
Yep, and the story.
It's like we're watching this on VHS, and then there's a tracking issue, and then it skips ahead.
Oh God, no! Just it's like Kung Fury, just like
absolutely.
Had track and get like fast forward to something. Honestly, that's one of my big issues with the story. Is there is a lot of paraphrasing or like a lot of like just like and we're like this creepy thing happened in some detail. All right, skip ahead. Next thing, we're here. Like because that happened.
The transitions are horrible in it, honestly.
Yeah, like because that happened with the escape, like from the basement. Like he just like. Out of the up and out of the gas station, like, oh, Katie's laughing at me. Get the fucking start driving, and they drove, and that's it. And then like, oh, now we're going.
But that's the thing. I don't have a problem with that escape because he was running for his life. This one, they're driving for their life, but there is no transition at all.
Yeah, no, the story like has moments. Honestly, like I could have used a little bit more, but yeah, like the story like has sections of it where it just like skims. So
yeah. Because like for me, when I'm reading it, I realize that they're quote unquote out of the chase scene when they've already showed up at Katie's place, and I should have been aware of it when they were aware of it. You know, like they would know when the thing stops chasing them. They would know when they stop seeing the repeating gas station repeatedly. Like I need to be in on this. I'm watching it.
Yeah, because like I'm looking. Actually, it actually took them like not that much time to get to Katie's friend's house after the night of hell. Because I'm looking at that bit, and it's like I switched back to static. I knew the name was next, like because like the number station starts playing basically.
Yeah, but the number station part like was possibly when they were already calming down from the horror, like after it ended. I don't know if it is.
But then the next line, like you said, like it just immediately goes into like when we got to Katie's friend's house. Wait, what?
Yeah,
it was the morning, so like it was still like only like less than like an hour or so, from dawn. And then it says it was overcast and everywhere was the smell of rain. So it's like like there definitely should have been more of. I'm agreeing with you, gamer. First off, I want to make that clear.
Mm-hmm.
Like this scene, there definitely needs to be more of a that's something the story does
struggle with
is segue is establishing shots and segues.
Mm-hmm.
Like the story needed a little bit more between like I switched off I switched back to static, I knew what the name was, and then we have another like bit or something where they're traveling and like things are slowing down.
And it like the shutting it off and then immediately showing up at the house would be fine if we already had that cooldown period that these characters already had.
Yeah.
Because like it mentioned that there were bits of light in the sunrise, but like why not something like the creature behind us disappeared when the light hit us and the gas station stopped appearing after that or something. Like I need something clear to show, okay, now we're in the calm down section, the red herring or whatever, the lull before the storm.
Yeah, because like we even get like even with the sliver of light, which is supposed to be like, oh, like they made it through the night. Like he checks the radio and the radio's still not working. And again, like this number station thing happens, but like the clock, the digital clock is also not working properly. So it's like, okay, either like the car's just crappy because it's an old Ford, or you're still in it. Like
yeah.
But yeah, there could again, like I think if you like looked back to like where he last saw the creepy girl crying in the car. Or like he realized there is no crying in the back, like sort of that absence of noise became noticeable.
Yeah.
And and then he looked through like the rearview mirrors and didn't see the pale humanoid runner coming at him. So like it was starting to like again cool down, and then they get to the house.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we definitely needed more of a more information or like more not padding, but like. They kind of needed a buffer between are they safe or are they not kind of situation here.
Yeah, it needs transitions.
Yeah.
For sure. And then my last one is basically just this one scene that I liked where it says she grabbed the newspaper and some masking tape off the table and began blocking out the windows. After the night's events, I didn't know whether I would be insane to join her or stop her. I just like the wording of that a lot. We're like, you know what? Yeah, you've been through some shit. Would I be insane to not help or to help? What is the crazy option here?
Yeah, who's crazy? Are you crazy when the rest of the world's gone mad? Or are you the only sane one left?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's all I got for my notes.
All right. Well then, on to final thoughts. So yeah, I'm still gonna partially recommend this one. I like the creepy bits and the setup. Like I'm a sucker for road trips horror. Which is strange because I love doing road trips myself. Or maybe that's not that strange.
It's not strange at all. You want it to happen.
Yeah. Like we're like when Mikey actually brought up earlier about like usually there's like road signs that say like gas in this many miles like to go like the next gas station. I had that moment happen earlier this month or like in July where we were driving through New Brunswick. Like I took a road trip out to New Brunswick to a place that is locally known as the Renoose, and it's already a nice creepy like setup because it's the Renoose. Apparently it's a 138 kilometer stretch of road through nothing but mountainous wilderness. And on the one side of the one side of the stretch, there's a road sign that says gas in 1 kilometer because you're going to be approaching the last gas station for like, and then right directly underneath that, gas 1 kilometer, and then underneath that gas symbol, it says 138 kilometers.
Jeez.
Yeah, and there is nothing out there but like logging roads and logging trucks. Down like across like through this winding stretch of country highway. It is effectively like the hills. Like, again, like it's a horror movie or a creepypasta waiting to happen. And again, I'm a sucker for like creepy like road trip story. So, so yeah, the story like got me in with the plot and with the setup. But it could use a round of editing, like we've kind of said. And there's a few small alterations that I feel would have improved the story. I really liked the ghostly beings and the liminality of the situation. The looping stretch of desert road, and that haunted gas station, like really good and effective. Like again, like this kind of purgatorial state or this like hell highway that they're having to deal with.
Yeah.
Yeah, this sort of situation, like I'm here for it. I like to read those kind of stories. It just feels like the story could have used some more fine tuning with regards to like how it was written, like some of the sort of like quick pace jot form style of writing could have been like kind of fleshed out a little bit more. And there's some decisions both on the character's point of view and with how things were written that I would have done differently were I writing it. So, but yeah, so I'm gonna partially recommend it. Like if you're a fan of like this kind of like road trip liminality horror, it's fun, but it's a flawed piece of work. Otherwise, so yeah, Mikey, these stands for evil.
All right. Well, as I stated in my actual thoughts, the derp land starts early, and
and hits hard.
And it doesn't stop. Like as Cultist pointed out, like why are you going into the water? Why?
Why are you doing? Wait. You're serious? You're actually going in that water? You know how disgusting that is? Have you not, in 2011, sir? Have you not checked out those TikTok trends of staying in water?
I have a feeling he didn't. I don't know why.
Yeah, I guess not. Yeah, I guess like if only he had TikTok.
When was TikTok released?
I don't know, like 2016 or something like
Yeah.
that. 5 years too early. Oh god.
TikTok saves lives, apparently.
Well, and then like the actual trend didn't pop up till like 2024. So
Yeah.
like, yeah.
Yeah, and as stated also about the starlit sky, which I mean he's not paying much attention, but like there's no way for him to know that there was no cloud cover.
Oh, you said starlit. You said the starless sky. I thought you said scarlet there for a second. Okay.
Yeah.
It became Scarlet Sky
does
when the sun was coming up.
It does,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, the monster being just basically black with multiple arms and a smile and black eyes. It's like, well, but if he's black, how do you know he has black eyes?
Yeah.
Yeah, like just a silhouette, like how like Fanta Black, like just like this shadow.
Yeah.
Although actually it does. Oh yeah, I guess the character, the thing that comes through the car, like into the car window, might not necessarily be the same thing that was in the basement, because the thing in the basement like was all shadowy, like black, except for its face, which was a pale like which was pale and like deformed with like the black eyes and the black mouth, right?
Yeah, there's like 4 or 5 different creatures, because yes, you are correct.
Yeah.
It had a pale face.
Yeah, I'm just kind of going off of that, like it's the same creature because like they have some same kind of like actions, I suppose. Like the thing that's in the back of the car might not even be the same thing that crawled in and had like the insectile movement. So
I think the creature in the basement, it was it kind of sounded like he was saying that it had a mask, I think.
Maybe.
So it might have had a mask on and then it took the mask off, and then that's when Lolth took over the child and spread of the spider legs. So they could be the same creature.
Oh my god. Just gonna write some more notes for my Urban Arcana adventure.
I need to stop talking because I'm just literally putting myself into these things.
It's fine. You're literally asking for this.
I guess I am.
Yeah. So, overall, I just didn't care for the story, so I'm still not going to recommend it.
Fair. All right, gamer.
Okay, so overall, I think I'll go with partial, because while I appreciated and liked certain aspects of this, I liked the multiple creatures, I liked the car chase scene with the repeats and stuff like that. I just don't like the transitions. The lack of transitions is what killed this for me rather.
Oh no, gamer, you're dead.
That's my secret. I've been dead the whole time.
Just like the characters possibly.
Yeah, who knows? I don't know. So yeah, a little bit more connective tissues in between the different scenes would help it a lot. Even something connecting the basement scene to them outside, like having it being like it's the same creature just without that mask. Now, with its mask off, it had these weird like spider legs and stuff. Something to connect that, because I basically just connected that now. Realize that now that they could be the same creature, because there's so many creatures in this. It could be another creature.
Yeah, like
because it's not like there's just one thing chasing them.
No, because like and honestly, the thing that's like pale, like the lanky pale like runner, could be the dad figure, the adult man figure that was seen in the window. The little girl could be like both the girl in the girl in the window could be the thing in the basement, but also the child in the car, or that could be like another sibling of it. Like maybe that's like the boy. Like maybe there's like a child, like a daughter and a son and this dad that like haunt this gas station and this stretch of road. So, but then like where's the daughter? Like the daughter just like Is the daughter like the mastermind like creature? Like, is it like actually in control? Is it Lolth?
Maybe it is.
Just that could. I'm adding more notes.
Damn it. It's also possible that the one in the basement, if they are different, the one in the basement is actually like bound to the basement, so it can't leave it.
Yeah, but except it's the same, or it's doing the same stuff that the ghost in the back of the seat was doing, and he was smelling the basement again when he left the car. So like, I kind of feel like there is sort of that, like it left the basement, it did manage to get out of the basement and like stalk them. I feel.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
But with the amount of creatures it throws at us, it's kind of hard to gather that.
Do you see the little girl, the creepy smiling girl again? On the TV in the house, in the static of the TV.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so
I forgot about that.
And probably that's probably even the same one that's like doing the voices on the telephone. So yeah, basically, so premise here. Dad, again, a servitor, like the father figure of this creepy cult family to Lolth. He's just a servitor though. There's a son or perhaps another daughter down in the basement. That's another servitor of Lolth, and then the little creepy smiling girl is Lolth herself in a vessel, the little girl that's always smiling is like a high priestess who is like taken in Lolth into herself.
Yep, makes sense because I'm pretty sure Drow they like favor females in everything.
Yeah, it's a
female dominated society.
Yeah, I was gonna say like it's not patriarchy; it's a matriarchy. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I knew there was a word for it. I just did not know it.
Fair. Yeah. So yeah, like whenever, and usually the men are like just kind of pawns to the women folk. So.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so
that's a long way to say I'll partially recommend it.
Yeah, and this has also been a plot growers episode, a micro plot growers episode.
Yeah, unintentionally. Whoops.
Yep. Gamer's just like, thanks, I hate it.
Yep. I need to stop saying words.
Yeah, whatever. But yeah, I guess that'll do it for this week's episode. So 2 partial recommendations and then 1 non-recommendation. Cool, creepy idea. Just work on the execution. A little
bit.
Story from 2011. that's been historically archived on creepypasta.wiki. But yeah, that'll do it for this week. So that's it for tonight. If you like what you heard, or if you didn't, leave us a comment in the comment section below where this gets posted. Some of us are on Blue Sky. Mikey is at the E Stands for Evil, and I'm at Review Cultist. You can also send us emails at aldenterigamortis@gmail.com. That's ALDENTERIGAMORTIS@gmail.com, where you can also leave us suggestions for other creepypastas, SCPs, spooky things. You creep it, we'll peep it. Yeah! And if you'd like to help support our show financially, you can go to Patreon. We have special episodes, early access, and extra content. To all our patrons helping support the show, thank you immensely. You're helping keep those hosting bills at bay. And as always, we very much appreciate that. And to our listeners and the authors of these stories, thank you immensely. Because without your listenership, it'd be like screaming into the void. Endless liminal void of a starless night.
Mm-hmm.
And without your authorship, writing and posting these stories on the internet for people to get spooked by and such, we really wouldn't have much of a show because we'd have nothing to talk about. So thank you. Now's a good time to mention that we are part of a podcast network. You may have heard of some of the stuff we've been mentioning in our discourse today. Crit in the Night, an actual play and creepypasta podcast network. We're there alongside our sister podcast, One Less Die, as we mentioned earlier, and our cousin podcast, The Role Playing Exchange, for things that go crit in the night. Until next time, I have been your host, Review Cultist.
I'm Mikey, the E Stands for Evil.
And I'm the gamer in yellow.
And this has been Al Dente Rigamortis. Sleep well.